Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to Dead Air. It's been a long time. It's been since December. I'm looking at my phone now. I think it was Wednesday, December 16th was the last Dead Air. Welcome to Austin, Texas. We are here. The logistics problems have been worked out. The weather has gone away. I'm here with Redban.
Hey, buddy.
With the wires. As usual, I got two great guests. One you remember we had before in Burbank. Dylan Sullivan is here.
Hello.
Good to see you again, Dylan Sullivan. We'll get to your new experience in the new state. And a new guest who hasn't been on before, Yoshi.
Yes, sir.
Am I
Good
saying,
to see you.
Am I saying that right?
Correct.
Yoshi and I have met before in Los Angeles in the street near the Comedy Store.
And Fan-chan always tell me how nice you are to him and being a good mentor to him. So he always talk about you.
So I tried to...
Why? Why's that funny?
I tried to... I gave as much money as I could that I had on me that night. I needed to get home too, Yoshi.
Yeah.
But we're back. I'm very excited. We got a brand new studio here. Congratulations, Redban. His home is it's not a home, it's not a house, it's a building. It's a building, and Janice looks even tinier in this building. With the high ceiling, she looks like she could fit in a one of those peach jars, where they, what do they do with those things?
The jam jars?
Yeah, the jam jars. She could sleep in a jam jar. But look at this beautiful table and my chair. And you guys, how are you? You guys are all right? This is the Virgin episode of Dead Air. That was Bad Ashley. They're going to remaster the intro song for us, and they're going to get this out to us as quickly as they can. And we're very happy for what they're doing for Dead Air. There's no doubt about it. And wow. So I guess before I do anything, you've been sworn in before because you've been on this show before in Burbank. There's no, unless you've changed your religious domination or anything. Are you still what you said you were before?
Yes.
And what was that?
It was nothing, but I went with the
You're an
Bible,
atheist.
I think.
But you picked the Bible.
Yeah.
Yoshi, we like to swear in the new guests that haven't been on Dead Air previously. Do you want the Quran or do you want the Bible? Which do you prefer, if any?
Wow, you really have Quran. Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting to have the Quran in the United States of America. Even though both in the Quran and the Bible, the same characters are mentioned and talked about. But somehow the Quran is some kind of evil book. It's only evil. No, I don't want to get into it with you, Yoshi, right now. No, I'm only kidding you. Well, which do you prefer?
I guess Quran is fine. I just got back from Dubai.
Wow, this is the first time, Redban, we've had somebody take the Quran.
He just got back from Dubai.
Jeez, check the house for wires. Get the dog, get the German Shepherd that sniffs out explosives. Get Janice out of here. Send Janice to her in-laws for the rest of the day until this guy gets the hell off the premises. Okay, go ahead, Yossi. Put your right hand on the Quran and lift up your other hand, whichever that is in Japanese. And,
Yes, sir.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God while you're on Dead Air?
I do.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. So we're all good to go. I've got the letters for all occasions. I doubt if we'll get to that today. And it's going to disappoint Redban. I know it is.
Look, I found a gift that Yoshi gave me a long time ago. Look at this. It's his own skateboard.
Wow.
Wait, did I give you that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, my brother. That's right.
Wow, that's a beautiful skateboard. You don't remember giving that?
It must have been a long time ago.
Where do you live now? Do
It
you live
was a
here in
long time
Austin?
No, LA still.
Right.
I'm just visiting for like 12 days. Staying with
Great.
Jason Riles.
Great.
Yeah.
Dynamite. No, I don't mean that.
Going back to Quran.
I think that's great. So let's get started. I guess we'll just pick up where we left off in Burbank and just press on. What do you think, Dylan? What do you think, Dylan?
Sounds good. I can't wait.
All right, let's go through some of the weather here in Austin, Texas. It's 63 degrees. That's 17.2 degrees Celsius. The reason we have to do that is we got a few listeners in Canada that...
What temperature did you just say it was?
63?
It's actually 83 out right now. Look.
Really? Wow. Well, can we block what you just said off so that the audience doesn't... this is what I have off my iPhone. I'm sorry, but I'm going to... It's hotter. I think it is higher. I don't know why. But so we'll go. How about the biometric pressure is 29.96 INHG or 30.05 INHG. The dew point is 59 degrees. The Redban's checking me against the real weather, I guess. No, this is what I get off my iPhone. I'm sorry, folks, if it's not as accurate as possible. I'm not the Weather Channel, right? Right, Yoshi?
Yes,
Yoshi,
sir.
wake up, wake up. Can't tell
Sorry.
if this guy's sleeping or not.
Asian eyes.
Hey, your buddy Tiger Woods had a little problem, huh?
Yes.
Jeez, he can drive a golf ball, but he can't drive a effing car.
Things people do for painkillers.
Asians, everybody knows Asians are bad, and Indians are not the greatest drivers. Indians.
Didn't know that.
They don't know how to share the road. Get over to your right. You know how people are afraid to get over? They don't want to get over. They don't want to get too close to the right side, so they want to scrape up against your mirror. Move over. So what happened? He shouldn't drive. This is not the first car accident he's been in.
Yoshi didn't drive today. He walked here 8 miles.
9 miles.
9 miles.
Yeah.
What are you, Kung Fu? Did you help anybody out on the way?
No.
Kick any cowboys' ass?
I was all sweaty coming over here.
You live that close, huh? Yeah, walking is pretty good. I try to walk every day.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Dylan?
I'm right on the river near downtown.
Good. I'm going to need a ride at least there, if not home.
Deal. All right, yeah.
Maybe I'll take you to lunch. I like Thai food. No offense, Yoshi. I like my fish cooked. I like it cooked, Yoshi. And then they have a blowtorch. You see the way they cook this sushi? Get that! I saw your video the other day with the blowtorch. What are you going to solder this fish? What are you doing with the blowtorch? Remember that?
Yeah, that was actually bone marrow that he was blowtorching off the bone and dripping the bone marrow onto the sushi.
You got too much money, Redban. When you have too much money, when you get bone marrow surgically removed from the bone onto your shrimp or
no, it's a sushi roll. It was
sushi roll.
Yeah.
Redban is a real foodie. He really likes to try different things.
I just like collecting photos of women breastfeeding.
So does Dylan. The moon tonight's going to be a waxing gibbons. High tide is, we don't do high tide in Austin, Texas. We're not in Burbank anymore. So I just put an N-A, N/, and then an A. That means, if you've ever had a day job, that means non-applicable. Sunset is 5:46 p.m. Sunrise will be 6:26 a.m. The humidity is 43%. The UV is 5. Air quality is 78. Moderate visibility, 10 miles, just like Burbank. Chance of participation, chance of rain is 10% and 0. And the hottest, coldest, driest, wettest, and the earthquake watch out to lunch. Give us a break. We just got back. We're in a new location. It's not always going to be just the way you want it.
Here's that bone marrow sushi that you were just talking about.
Yeah. Look at the blowtorch. Where's the vise? Where's the vise? Give me the Allen wrenches. Holy cow. Look at this. How was it?
It was freaking amazing. It was 17 courses of sushi, and the chef was just the place only seats 9 people. So they only have 2 dinners a night, 9 people each. They have like 4 chefs, and so you're just sitting there with 9 other people in this small room, and they go through each one. Like this is like there was one called a 3-color tuna, and he's like you could take a whole tuna, and this is the amount of meat that you can get called the 3-color tuna. It's like the most amazing.
Oh, like on a steak, it's the filet mignon of the steak.
Yeah, and it was just it was amazing. I love sushi, but I didn't even know you could go there with this sushi, and highly recommend it. It's called Sushi Austin ATX. But it's like on March. You can't get reservations in March. Like they don't even have reservations available right now. It's ridiculous.
So did you make reservations a long time ago?
I made it a long time ago because Rogan's friends with the guy, and Rogan tweeted something like, "Hey, check out this place," and I just happened to see it right when he tweeted it. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm ready to make reservations there." And then 3 minutes later, they were booked all through February.
Jeez, Janice must have been wetting her pants.
Oh, she was.
You have to put her in a diaper. She must have been salivating. I mean, just every orifice of her body was leaking fluids of happiness.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow. I have something here. I want to shout out to Lazarus Sisyphus. dead air shout out to. Can you say that, Dylan? Yeah. Can you give that a crack? I'm not even going to ask you, Yoshi.
Good move.
Wanted to know about the next.
Well, no, just the name. Just the name.
Oh, Carpentersville.
Yeah, that's where he's from. I want the name. Is Lazaros?
Oh, Lazarus Sisyphus.
Sisyphus? Lazarus Sisyphus from Carpentersville, Illinois. How you doing, buddy? Shout out. Thanks for your kind words. You wanted to know about the next dead air. Well, if you put the bottle down and take the gun out of your mouth, it's coming on right now. Now, this is a letter I want to read real quick. This is from a listener. Can you pronounce that last name? Justin what?
Stolte.
Stolte.
What is that?
It's a name. Justin Stolte. He gave me a couple of nice shirts, and you are if you are reading this unlaminated letter, the letter made its way across the country into the California lockdowns and through the package security check procedures. Please enjoy 2 shirts you can use when gardening as a thank you for a shirt from your podcast and a button received earlier this year. People ask me about the shirt every time I wear it, and it's a lot of fun to make new fans. Also, thank you for the podcast series, 2 cameos, the Comedy Store documentary episode, the YouTube channel videos, which are very entertaining and cut through the repetitive content on TV and online media in the last half of the year. When writing this letter, I checked the book on everyday letters for all occasions, and writing this, tip number 5 says to rewrite the letter, so I will just print out 5 copies and send the last one. The book is over 26 years old and won't know the difference. Have a great holiday season and continued success in 2021. This was December 20th. That's how long we've been off the air, Yoshi.
Wow. Nice letter.
Nice letter. I thought I'd give him a break and, read his nice letter. So,
What happened to your car?
I'm not an ice skater. Yeah, I hit a wall coming back from my first comedy show in Austin on the 11th of February.
Did you just skid into it or what?
Yeah,
jeez.
the rear end started to fishtail, and you're not supposed to brake. And you're supposed to steer into the
Yeah.
Right.
And while those are great things to know, but while it's happening, all you can think of is
Scream.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
And that's such a nice car. You got the new cover for it. How much damage did you get? There's the car right there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to show the damage. It's not terribly bad. It's the right front 4 panel, and I was able to drive it home and drop it off at Oak Hill Paint and Auto. So
that's
hopefully that'll come around. Yeah, I want to have it repaired. I like it.
Yeah, you've been really doing a lot of YouTube videos. I've been enjoying your videos. You've been going around Austin, walking and doing a bunch of stuff, talking to homeless people, freaking out Uber drivers.
Yeah, I had a problem with an Uber driver.
What happened?
I thought everything was okay, but she reported me to Uber because I wasn't wearing my mask. I wanted to make a video, and she said, "No, we can leave the window open, but you can't. If you take it," I said, "No, it's going to be too much noise." So I said, "Just let me out. No problem. I'll get another Uber."
Right.
And she reported me.
Did you write a letter to Uber?
No, I didn't go there. Yeah.
Huh.
Are you tired? Are you okay? Did you get enough sleep? Well, you just walked 9 miles, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You got some water?
Yes.
So let me introduce my guest. Dylan, you tell us about yourself again for the listeners that didn't see you the first time around.
Yeah, I'm a comedian, aspiring comedian. Used to work at the Comedy Store as a door guy there, and then once it shut down, I wanted to move to Austin here, so I moved here about a month ago and having a fun time.
It's a successful move for you.
So far, better than Los Angeles, at least to do comedy.
And you can eat inside the restaurants here.
Yeah, you can eat inside restaurants. There's bars. I went to a movie theater because I always love going to the movies. They have a movie theater open here, so that was.
What did you see?
I saw 2 movies. One called
Tora. Those damn Japanese. The nerve of them to fly the plane into the ship like that. God, you people.
Disrespect.
The nerve of you.
Wait, Toshiro Mifune. I don't remember that movie.
Shout out to Brody. Brody has 2 years passed away. Shout out to
Yesterday,
Brody.
yeah.
You got your nice Brody shirt on. Enjoy it. So it's working out well for you and do some shows, a lot of shows here.
Yeah. Brian Redban's been putting me on shows at Vulcan. It's been a very fun time.
Yeah, we had to cancel our show tonight, though.
Yeah, we had to cancel tonight.
Well,
some things. But how are you liking it?
Oh, I'm loving it. I live with an Indian family. Yeah, I'm loving it. You know, what they say about the Indians, it's true. Anyway, no.
Great food.
Indian, Native American, or East Indian?
India, the country,
Okay.
Hindu. So, Oshi, tell us about you. Tell us what's going on in your country, your life. Trying to keep it PC here, I guess. Caught myself. I was going to say, well, how are you doing in your yellow life, but I don't want to go there. No. It's just that, everybody knows I don't mean it. Go ahead. What color do you want to be then if you don't want to be yellow?
I live in.
Go ahead.
I still live in LA, and I've been traveling the last 6 months. So I've been to 41 states, and then just did a whole loop around the world. And
Just like that, huh?
yeah, I mean,
You just keep moving around? How exciting.
I just say to myself, I'm not going to get sick, and I haven't, And I think people are too paranoid. I think you can't just stop living your life just because COVID or whatever,
Right.
But I went to the Middle East, Northern Africa, Central Asia, Far East, and back here I am. And
Can you just name the countries for us?
I was in Lisbon, Portugal.
Portugal.
UAE, Dubai.
United Arab Emirates. Go
yeah,
ahead.
Kazakhstan.
Ooh, that's a dicey one. You went to? No, they're okay. They're not having any war there, are they?
No, but they look like me, but they act like Russians.
Oh, they're like
They don't smile.
Mongolian type people.
Yes. So when I left Dubai, the flight was layover in Kazakhstan for like 8 hours, then South Korea for like 30 hours, and half the people are Korean, other half Kazakhs. I'm Asian. Even I had a hard time figuring like, wait, is that Korean person or Kazakh? And when I got to Kazakhstan, Almaty, they took my fucking passport. They were giving me a bit of a hard time.
You have a U.S. passport, right?
Yeah, I have a U.S. passport,
Right.
but they were giving me a hard time, and I didn't know if I was allowed to leave the country. Because with the COVID, they could just kind of fuck with you.
Right, yeah. But that's my biggest question. I even bought a book to find out, and of course the book talked about everything except what I wanted to find out.
Yeah.
When you're abroad and you want to travel from country to country, you don't want to come back to the United States to get the visa. How do you do that? How do you go from country to country without coming back to crazy America to get the visa? You just check in with them and say, I want to visit this place?
I only go countries that doesn't require any visa.
Oh, I see.
And
Dubai is one of those, that's right.
You just have to show them a negative COVID test. But the problem is when you go to Dubai and when you're ready to leave, you have to have a new negative COVID test. If you don't, you can't leave the country. The airline will not take you. So you could possibly get stuck in there.
Right.
So night before, it took me 8 hours to get 2 tests. We were trying to get a third one, but so I didn't get my test result like 80 minutes before the flight. So like for a minute, I thought I was stuck in Dubai.
So you must have a lot of reserve to travel all over the world like this.
I don't have a lot of reserve, but
Rich parents? They own a
No, I don't.
sushi store or something?
No, wait till you see how he has money.
But I think I'm not going to fucking let these people stop me from traveling. You know?
Right.
And so I went. It worked out fine, but there was a problem. I left Newark after staying in D.C. for inauguration. Left D.C., Newark. When I flew into Lisbon, there was another. I was supposed to get on from Lisbon to Dubai. They canceled the goddamn flight. So as soon as I land, when you get out of your international flight, you either go to immigration to visit that country, or you turn right into transfer. When I went to transfer, they say, "Sir, you don't have a flight." So I'm all of a sudden stuck in Portugal, and I can't leave the airport because Americans are not allowed to visit Portugal right now. So there was 2-3 hours. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. So I think there's a lot of complication with COVID right now. So I mean, it worked out fine, but
Yoshi does a lot of medical experiments. Like he does, he'll do what are they called?
Yes.
Human guinea pig.
Human guinea pig. Like they'll test new medication out on Yoshi, and he does these things. Like
They particularly look for Japanese people because Japanese metabolize medication better than any other race. So I'm getting phone calls all the time, like we need you for Crohn's disease or liver cancer and things like that.
And they pay you a lot of money to be a test platform.
You could get locked up for like last big one I did was I got locked up for 1 month for like 11,000. Wow. There was a study in San Antonio.
Did they do white people?
Oh sure. they have a different study for like they only look for men, women.
Can you after the show? Can I have that information?
Yeah, there's one in San Antonio. There was a study for $57,000. You get locked up for like over 100 days, and if you've never done it, it is kind of hard. I'm kind of used to it.
For $57,000, I would get locked up for 100 days. They're going to feed you, right?
Yeah.
TV,
Yes.
internet access,
100%.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But every time I complain,
$57,000. That's a house in Southeast Asia.
but they're also testing weird drugs on you that they don't know what will happen. You know,
But 57,000 is 50. I didn't know about it until it was too late. But every time I complain, like 30 days, there's always a black guy in there telling me, like, motherfucker, I did 5 years in federal prison. This ain't nothing, you know. So like if you put it like that, yeah, you know. But
Wow. Well, Yoshi, you've got quite a that was longer introduction than usually
sorry.
we do.
sorry about that.
We didn't want you to monopolize the podcast.
Sorry,
we have
sir.
other guests. We have Redban likes to chime in from time to time. It was kind of rude of you to just go on like that. I don't want to say anything derogatory, and I'm not picking on you because of your race. It's just that you did go on. You should. You went on quite a long time, but we'll pick it up again. So this is the items of interest. This is a segment that we start the show off, and it generates some interesting conversation between all three of us. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to speak at any time you want to add into anything that's happening here. Nobody gets to say nobody can say anything. You understand? Mm-hmm. Redban was trying to explain that to you earlier. And so feel free to chime in. Just don't chime in too long. So here it is, the first items of interest since Wednesday, December 16th, I think it was. 3 people stranded on a small uninhabited island in the Bahamas were rescued after 33 days. The 2 men and a woman, all Cuban nationals, had been on a boat that capsized in a storm, forcing them to swim to the island. They survived on coconuts and small animals for nearly 5 weeks before the U.S. Coast Guard Patrol spotted them waving a makeshift flag. The crew dropped food, water, and a radio, then airlifted them to safety. I was amazed how well they had it together, said Lieutenant Justin Doherty. They are incredibly lucky to be alive. And Lieutenant Justin Doherty is lucky to be in the Coast Guard. That's the best branch. If you can get in the Coast Guard, you got to be really intelligent to get in the Coast Guard. Because everybody wants to be in the Coast Guard. Oh, yeah.
Is it easier or something? Or?
It's harder. You got to
harder?
talk to your senator or your congressman.
Really?
You got to find out what golf course they're on. And a French nun survived the coronavirus to celebrate her 117th birthday. Sister Andrea of Tolan, who lived through both world wars and the 1918 flu pandemic, is believed to be the world's second oldest person, born in 1904. Wow. Sister Andrea worked in a hospital, took care of elders and orphans, and became a nun at age 40. Last week, her special day, she enjoyed a special menu of Mardi Gras grass, baked Alaska, and red wine, one of her secrets of longevity, according to a spokesman at her nursing home. After a mass in her honor, she was treated to champagne because 117 years has to be toasted. Can you imagine being 117? She doesn't even know where she is.
Look at her. She looks like. Look, oh man, her eyes are freaking me out.
Whoa, hey now. She needs some sunglasses on those eyes.
What does she look like? She looks like my precious, or something like that.
Oh, 117. God bless her. Wow. When a TSA officer at Portland International Airport was called over to translate for a Spanish-speaking family, he learned that they had been stuck in the airport overnight. The family had intended to travel to Portland, Maine, but a travel agent booked them to flight to Portland, Oregon.
Ugh.
Officer Martin Rojas escorted the family to the ticketing desk and found that they had just $200 left, not enough to fly across the country. Rojas paid for the tickets out of his own pocket and sent the family on their way. I just know that I didn't really have it in me to turn them away, he said. Isn't that nice when people do nice stuff? Yoshi?
Yes, sir.
Dylan, isn't
Very
that nice?
Very nice. Yeah, out of his own pocket.
Right.
Do you think the airlines ever stepped in?
Yeah.
Why didn't the airline?
Why would the airline just be like, "Hey, we have an empty seat. You put your money away." Like,
If you got the right employee, that's the same thing when you call on the phone. You just got to get the right employee at the right time. And if you just don't feel comfortable, just say, "Oh, I'm gonna regroup. I'll call you back," and just keep calling until you get the good employee.
yeah,
That's a good advice.
The employee that seems to think they really care.
Right.
I've found gentlemen pretty cool. You can kind of talk to them more and tell them, and they're kind of helpful. Women are very, very helpful, but some women it just sounds like their mind is someplace else, and they
thinking about recipes and stuff.
thinking about the next episode of General Hospital. The Oregon Department of Education is encouraging teachers to take a course on dismantling racism in mathematics. The course instructs that the focus on getting the right answer and students being required to show their work are actually toxic characteristics of white supremacy culture. Teachers will be told not to keep objectivity by upholding the idea that there are always a right and wrong answer. Geez, that's some garbage right there. That was the only thing that we could count on with math.
Yeah,
that
math.
there had to be one answer. That's why we can go to Mars. That's why we can go to do all this electronic stuff here, because of one right answer. You can't go to Mars if you're just saying, well, whatever that figure is or whatever that.
Right.
I
I don't get the connection.
I don't know who's behind all this nonsense, but it's getting crazy, huh, Redban?
Yeah.
I don't know who's behind it. It's like the screws are tightening. Do you know what we're talking about, Yoshi?
I don't know why they keep adding more responsibility when they don't do anything right to begin with. They're failing the kids in this country, you know. So like, they're just wasting their times. And
Yeah, it's like
implication is that they always keep saying white people are racist and they're not. I've been living here for over 40 years. This is nonsense. Most people are not racist.
Right.
But people have a fucking agenda trying to divide the country, you know. I don't like it.
Good point. I believe it. I mean,
Sometimes people have different opinions, but that doesn't mean they're racist, you know.
right. They always go right to that. A Michigan ammunition supplier is requiring all customers to affirm that they didn't vote for Joe Biden. Owners of Phoenix Ammunition explained that Biden ran on a radical gun control platform, which included banning the online sale of ammunition. A vote for Biden, they said, was a vote to bankrupt our company, and we don't want your money. Wow, taking a stand there. Dylan?
Interesting that they're asking for proof of voting. They're asking the employees or the
Their
people
customers.
they're selling? Their
Their
customers.
customers.
Wow.
Like he won't sell to anyone that voted for Biden, which seems almost illegal.
That just
Ludicrous.
But I guess I don't know.
This is about an inheritance. A dog named Lulu, a border collie from Nashville, was left $5 million by a wealthy owner, Bill Doris. Lulu will be cared for by Doris's friend Martha Burton. She's 88. How long is she going to last? I mean, who said that while it will be hard to spend that much money on a dog, I'd like to try.
Man, that just makes me want to like do something like, hey, Lulu, I sell something, you know, for this dog. For $100,000, I can make Lulu a nice coat or something. You know, like.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have a gift for you, Redban, for your new home or the studio, whichever you
Nice.
you care to do it.
Oh,
I think
what is this?
to remind you of your West Coast gig.
Oh,
Cool.
Where'd you get this at?
I had a woman, a Filipino woman, painted those
Nice.
in Manhattan Beach when I worked there.
That's great.
And that'll remind you of the Pacific Ocean, and you could put that wherever you are. So
Thanks.
it's always nice to give somebody a housewarming gift.
Heck yeah, I'll hang this right up.
And then I got these. I always like to bring the guests some gifts. These are from Delta Airlines. These are toothpaste and it's a
awesome.
comfort kit.
That's
Thank you, sir.
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Are you?
Yeah.
I travel a lot, so that's perfect.
Yeah, this is great. I always forget my toothbrush whenever I pack.
You do, and here you can have a microphone
Thank you.
and a button.
That's the best. I still think this microphone is the best merch for a
Yeah,
car.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
I still have my other one from last time. Now I'll have two.
Now you could be like,
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Oh, you already have one?
Yes.
All right, let me have that one back. Don't you hate that when you say the wrong thing?
I know.
You wish you shouldn't have said it.
I should have shut up.
I just can't. I can't. I just can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd like to do it. I know I'm the one who can make that decision. I can't.
I said too much.
oh, you got it again.
So how much did that sushi? I could have fixed my car for as much as that sushi did.
Yeah, it was $150 each, and then if you could also get a sake, where like every thing of sushi they had a little bit of sake that went with the sushi.
Right.
But I was like, I'm not paying an extra $150 for sake. I don't. But so it was worth it. That's one of those. Like I've talked about this before. Like that's one of those dinners though that I will always remember the rest of my life. I don't remember even if it's a nice meal at some steak restaurant. I'll probably forget about it. But that I'll always remember that.
Oh wow, that was nice. It was so delicious. Just watching it was delicious.
Right.
So that's a dog. That's a rich dog then. Wow, that border collie. I guess for $5 million, they're probably wiping that dog's ass too.
Look at that.
Yeah.
dog.
That's a
You know?
8-year-old.
Jeez, that's a dog lover, huh?
If we can kidnap this dog and hold it ransom,
There was a guy doing that in New York. They were stealing people's dog and then putting them up. Oh no, they would see a ransom note, a reward poster.
Yeah,
And then they would steal another dog or something, and then they'd spray paint the dog to look like the dog that they were giving.
Really?
and scamming people.
Wow.
what's that? There was a movie kind of like that, like
Seven Psychopaths.
one of my favorite movies, Seven
Yeah.
Psychopaths. That's
Mine
what he
too.
he would steal the dog, and then he would have like a house full of dogs, and then when he saw like the rewards, then he goes, "Oh, I just found this dog."
Yeah.
Jesus.
Christopher Walken will walk up to the door. I'm sorry. I know there's a note, and then be like, "Oh, here's a reward." Like, no, I can't. You sure? And then get all the cash. Great movie.
That's such a great movie. Though.
Yeah.
That's one of the movies that made me get a Shih Tzu after seeing that movie. The
Yeah.
Shih Tzu in that movie is
Woody
amazing.
Harrelson's.
Yeah.
With the formation of a Facebook support group for women cursed with the non-demonized first name, the group will help members bear the burden of Karenism and encourage a wider culture of compassion that supports all human beings regardless of what their name is. That's who was my Uber driver that reported me.
Yeah.
It was a Karen.
She was a Karen?
There's no yeah,
She
she
had to be.
she there's no reason to report me. I was polite
Yeah.
as can be.
Right. And you even offered to leave.
Yeah, I told her it's okay, let me off.
Yeah.
I had full intention of getting another Uber. I knew I'd find another Uber.
Does she have short hair?
As a Karen.
Her name was Stephanie.
Does she have short hair?
Yeah,
What color is her hair?
brunette.
Usually they're blonde.
And
What does that mean when they say they reported you? Like,
it's like Big Brother. They send a
you can't use
message
Uber
to
anymore?
the platform. Well, they warn you the first time, and then a driver can say anything they want that you did in that cab, that Uber, and they can take you off the platform.
Well, I kind of understand that, especially if like the driver has like older parents that they live with, and they don't know you, and they don't want you breathing and yelling.
No,
on their back
and I understood
like
too. That's why it was very nice, and I just.
But you had your mask on, right, when you were asking if you could do this.
Right. Yeah.
So she just lied.
Yeah. She just. This is a Bad Ashley sticker I got in the mail.
Oh, cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That's the band that plays
Yeah.
for us in the beginning of the.
Bad Ashley.
And
Better reuse that envelope.
yeah. A 7-year-old Florida boy who hid in a garbage bin that was dumped into a garbage truck. Sanitation worker Waldo Fiedel spotted Ozanalo on a surveillance camera and turned off the truck's compactor blades just in time. I was going to be a mashed potato, a grinning Augsnox noted afterwards. Stuff like that. He's too big to be hiding in, he's
He's a little slow.
yeah, he shouldn't do that.
Is this your normal the week? News?
Yeah, this is the latest one.
Oh, cool. So you got to move.
I changed the address.
I was
Yeah.
wondering about that. If you're gonna.
This one is about the post office. Post Office General Louis DeJoy is preparing to plan to end air transport of first-class mail, meaning bills, magazines, and even some prescription medicines would no longer arrive within 1 to 3 days, according to a report, and so and so and so and so. The 10-year plan would lump all first-class mail into a delivery window of 3 to 5 business days and include a major hike in postage fees. The plan changes followed delivery delays that began shortly after this character, a major Republican donor and former logistics executive, began instituting cost cuts across the agency. On-time delivery rates have plummeted, with only 38% of first-class mail sent with a 3 to 5 day window. He's trying to bankrupt I think he's trying to bankrupt it. Yeah. This is not the time to be reducing services.
Right.
Fund the damn post office.
Right.
Fund Amtrak. Fund the post office. Stop the nonsense. You can fund everything else that you want to fund.
Right. But not.
I could tell.
I love the post office.
That would fuck over a lot of people.
I do too, but there's a huge difference between the post office that I have now than what I had in Burbank. I was lucky with the post office in Burbank. The shit out here is bullshit. Like, they don't even drop off my mail half the time. They don't even pick up the mail. It's completely backwards compared to the Burbank location.
Wow.
They're just shit here.
That's a shame. That's good. That's not good news. No. And I guess everybody knows about the big storms. You're okay with the storms and Redban. You lost power and internet, and
it was bad for me. It got down to 41 degrees at my house one night, and we didn't have internet, power, nothing.
Hot water?
No water for 3 days, 3.5 days. Mm-hmm. It was bad.
Yeah,
I almost freaked out that last night when it was, because you're just so cold and you can't get warm, and then you can't just go inside because you are inside, and just trying to sleep with like 4 pairs of pants on and all these like 10 blankets and stuff, and the dogs were just shaking, like shivering the whole time. It was bad.
And then you're telling about you couldn't get cell service either.
Yeah, I couldn't get
T-Mobile.
Yeah,
and the cell towers are like frozen or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they had no power, and their generators. The problem was all the generators froze, and so like usually the generator kicks in, and then you still have power. One thing, though, is I'm going to get myself a natural gas generator, because I have natural gas. Natural gas never goes out, so in the future, that could just kick in and do my whole house using gas, which is...
Yeah.
I need to do that.
How did you make out, Yoshi?
I just got in last night, so I didn't face any of it.
You were supposed to be here last week.
I changed my flight from last week to this week.
Where did you come from?
Vegas.
And where do you think you'll go? What overseas country do you think you'll go next?
Moldova, Belarus, and I think Bangkok, and maybe back to Dubai. And my friend...
And all those people don't need a visa?
None of the places, as of now.
Right.
But maybe a couple other places.
Wow. Yeah, I love traveling, too, I tell you. There's nothing like being a tourist.
Do they have strip clubs in Dubai, or is that completely bad stuff?
You know what was shocking? There's a lot of sex business there, but it's kind of hidden. There's a lot of Eastern European Russians are there, and so many Orthodox Jews are hanging out in Dubai now because of Trump and Kushner opening the country to better relations of the Middle East with Israel. I was taken back. I never thought I would see Orthodox Jews walking around the UAE.
Right.
Wow.
It was just shocking, to me. Things are changing for better in some parts of the world.
Right.
That's crazy that Dubai has like a sex industry or whatever, because like you see that movie, what is it, Sex in the City, and they got caught kissing on the beach and almost got arrested or put in prison or something like that.
There was a woman that was arrested on the airplane in first class when it landed in Dubai for drinking champagne.
Really? Wow.
But she was probably a Karen and probably gave him some lip, and
There's always been a sex
Probably
business.
deserves
You
it.
just got to be respectful and hide it. Everybody pretend like that shit doesn't happen. It does. They have alcohol too, but you just have to be hiding that shit from everyone.
right.
Yeah, don't put it out in the open.
Yeah.
Now this is this article, this item of interest really hits home. Listen to this, Redban. A Canadian comedian went to the Supreme Court this week to defend his right to mock a disabled person. In a 2010 stand-up routine, Mike Ward, W-A-R-D, took aim at various Canadian personalities, including Jeremy Gabriel, a then 13-year-old boy who was born with facial deformities and became a minor celebrity in Quebec after he sang for the Pope. Ward joked that he had assumed people were only nice to the boy because he would soon die, adding that when he found out Gabriel's illness wasn't fatal, he tried to drown him. Gabriel's family sued, saying the jokes had led to bullying. And in 2016, a tribunal awarded Gabriel $27,500 in damages. Backed by free speech activists, Ward appealed the case to the Supreme Court. If the verdict stands, his lawyer told the justices the whole notion of stand-up comic becomes questionable. Wow. Wow.
That is wild.
What is Peter Chin going to do?
Yoshi, know Peter Chin?
No.
A comic. Oh, that's funny.
That is. Canada's pretty
I don't know
wild.
what
on,
to say about that.
So it goes to Canadian Supreme Court. I know they're pretty weird over there about.
Dylan, do you want me to read it again? Because I will, but I won't. I won't read it.
I actually know this guy.
Oh, there he is.
I actually know him. I met him at the Comedy Store, hung out with him a few times. I think I actually had him on a secret show also.
Wow.
Nice guy, though.
That free speech is free speech. I hope they don't.
Right.
They're too progressive.
And then these are two items of interest, both dealing with women. And one of them is just where you were, Yoshi. The daughter of Dubai's ruler, who disappeared after she attempted to flee the Emirates in 2018, is being held captive by her family in a villa converted into a jail, according to a video message she sent her friends. Desperate to escape what she said was her father's cruel treatment, Shika Khalifa.
And her father, Sheikh Mohammed.
Right. Now 35, tried to sail across the Arabian Sea to reach India. The boat was stormed by commandos, and she was forcibly returned to Dubai. In captivity, she sent her friends video messages using a smuggled phone. Every day I'm worried about my safety and my life, she says in one message. Her friends gave the videos to BBC after they lost contact with her last year. The royal family insists she is completely fine. God, they're kind of strict over there, huh, Yoshi?
He's the second most powerful man in that country. There's nothing she could do. His pictures are everywhere in that town.
Right. He's the one who paid for the Burj Khalifa. Yeah, I think the other guy ran out of money, and he went to that guy and said, hey, that's why they named it after him, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, because the other guy's not his. The other guy's got all the money. The main guy of the Emirates.
Oh, yeah.
They used to do pearls. Their big business was pearls.
Yeah.
And then you, Yoshi, the Japanese, got a hold of the pearl business and knocked them right out of the box. So then oil is what saved them. If it wasn't for oil, it'd just be a sandbox
A lot of financial
for a lot of those places over there. What am I saying?
Because they got knocked out of the pearl business.
Yeah, before the oil, it was pearls.
Huh.
And this one is about this driver, this lady who wants to drive in Saudi Arabia, a prominent Saudi Arabian women's rights activist who pushed to overturn the country's ban on female drivers has been freed after spending nearly 3 years in prison following pressure from the Biden administration. These names are unbelievable. I'll just say Knucklehead 31 was arrested on charges of incitement and serving a foreign agenda just weeks before authorities legalized women drivers in 2018. Hello is a powerful activist for women's rights. President Biden said releasing her was the right thing to do. She will be no problem, though, and can't leave the country for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to watch out. Everything is not what you think. How's it going? You guys liking these items of interest?
Yeah, it's a very interesting week.
Don't be afraid to chime in.
I'll tell you more.
Redban and I cannot carry this show ourselves.
Why are you drinking electric? Are you drinking? What's that shit called?
Yeah, I don't know why. It was just I saw it at the gas station, and I figured I'll need electrolytes.
It's weird. Like
Brian, going back to the Canadian thing, what would you do if you got in trouble for that law? Like you say something on the stage and they're accusing you of whatever. How would you handle it? Would you just leave, or would you fight it in Canada?
I would probably, if I had attorneys that were going to pay for the case,
Yeah.
I'd go forth with it and see how it turned out. Sure.
Good for you.
If I didn't have money to, it's very expensive to fight these cases, very expensive. Yeah. Then I might just have to
It starts always small.
do it in another country and just leave Canada, I guess.
It always small.
Leave Canada.
Yeah.
It always starts small, doesn't it? They go after comedian, the next thing you know, writers, and I hate this shit.
I just met a couple Canadians that came over to Austin. Brian, I don't know if you met them.
Jason Rouse's friends.
Jason Rouse's friends. They threw a huge show in the park during the lockdown.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they got police called on them.
And they find them every show, yeah.
They find them every show, but the comedians set up like a GoFundMe account, and the public paid off their tickets. So they were able to pull off this huge show.
Where was this?
outdoors. In Canada, I don't know what part.
Toronto.
Toronto?
yeah.
Why?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know, Jason.
Because Canada's supposed to be this great comedy town, but then you hear shit like this. Like, if you're going to get, charged $35,000, you might as well, make it $50,000 and get lawyers. I guess for the,
I think there was another case in Vancouver about 10 years ago. Someone did a joke about lesbians. They went after the comedian. And
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
And who's looking into this Jeremy Gabriel guy? Do we know if he's a good person?
I mean,
Who's that?
He's the kid that got made fun of.
Oh right.
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe he should be dragged through the mud some more.
Yeah.
Now, this is a real good item of interest. I think everybody listening and here can enjoy this one. Everybody loves the movie The Shining.
Yeah.
This is olive oil. And, she looks like olive oil.
Wow, blow me down.
This is Shelley Duvall. Remember her?
yeah.
She was the wife of Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
She was torturing in that movie. Kubrick was a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
That's what she says.
No.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
she
no,
says,
she-
Yoshi. Let me read it. That's
Yeah.
what she says. Yoshi. On God. Shirley, I can't speak. I'm sorry.
No, I heard stories.
I'm not a racist. I just can't speak. Shirley Duvall is a refugee from Hollywood, said so-and-so and so-and-so in the so-and-so and so-and-so. The actress best known for playing Wendy Torrance in The Shining fled Hollywood for Texas Hill Country 27 years ago, ending a highly successful career that also included producing innovative children's programming. After Duvall walked away, she vanished from the public eye until a painful 2016 interview with Phil, Dr. Phil, that clown. A confessed Duvall voiced paranoid fantasies and claimed her Popeye co-star Robin Williams was alive in a shapes shifter. Many said McGraw exploited Duvall. I found out the kind of person he is the hard way, she says. Yeah, that's what you get for talking to that guy. Who would ever want to talk to that guy on national TV? Oh, yeah, sign me up. Right. Sign me up. I want to talk to Dr. Phil. Oprah Winfrey's product. That's all he is. Oprah Whitney wanted to stop doing her show, so she figured she'd find the other doctor. What's the other charlatan?
Oz.
Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil. She gets all the money for putting those two clowns on the TV. Mm-hmm. It's all a big, you know what it is. So I found out kind of person he was. Spends many nights in chatting with locals who become very protective of her. She's like a special needs adult now, I guess. The whole town is giving her free cookies and candy. She lives with Dan Gilroy, 76, a former member of the Madonna's band. She celebrates her 70th birthday last year with fans at her favorite restaurant, Red Lobster. So you know she's kind of off.
Man, she's a classy woman. Does she have money? Like, why would she?
Red Lobster. Red Lobster. The Red Lobster looks good on television, but when you get actually to the restaurant, you might be disappointed.
Less to see Shelley Duvall there.
And her vivid memories. Here it is, Yoshi, and her vivid memories of filming The Shining, which took 56 weeks and required Duvall to work herself into a state of hysteria day after day for one scene. Director Stanley Kubrick demanded 127 takes. 127 takes. I would have said, you know what? Get somebody else to play this part. I'm out of here.
Right.
127 takes.
That was the
Stanley, you're out of your mind.
That was the staircase scene, I believe.
To wake up and realize you had to cry all day, she says, I don't know how I did it. He tortured her, huh?
Eyes Wide Shut, there's a scene where Tom Cruise have to walk through a doorway 95 times. And there's another scene where Nicole Kidman's character have a fantasy with Sailor. He purposely made Tom stay away, couldn't stay there. And they dragged that scene for like 5-6 days, feeling jealousy and anger because all you're thinking as a man is like, this motherfucker's like grabbing her tits for like 5-6 days. And Kubrick did that on purpose just to drive you insane. And he doesn't give a shit, you know. And they dragged that movie for almost 2 years. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, you know. And once he's done with you, he never call you and talk to you ever again unless he needs you. So there's a lot of upset stars that never been treated like that. But that's why he was a great director, because he will push you to the limit that you didn't even know you had it, you know. But that's why Tom Cruise is amazing, because he took it like a champ. But
that's like that story in MASH. When they made MASH, they actually on purpose made the shower water ice cold to get the reaction that they needed to get from one of the actresses or whoever was doing it. So yeah, there's tricks to the trade. And these actors are a lot of crybabies too. They say, "Oh, there was what was the guy who said that the one with the bear? Remember the bear movie with sleeping inside the dead bear? Remember that one? Revenant. Oh, it was so hard. It was so hard to film that movie. It was so, You know what's hard? Figuring out which actress you're going to bang in your trailer that night. That's what's hard. You know? Do you ever sheetrock? You ever waterproof a house and you got to take all the dirt out of it in those pickle buckets and dump it in the truck? And you do that for 8 hours. You go home at night, your back is killing you. They don't know what real work is.
Right.
A lot of men and women in this country, men and lesbians, they come home and their back is sore as hell from 12 hours of physical labor.
Right.
Oh, this movie was so hard to make this movie. Oh my God. I what do you call it? I balk at that when I hear that, Yoshi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't give exception like Christian Bale or Daniel Day-Lewis? I mean, those fuckers go crazy.
I like Christian Bale. I couldn't believe he was
40 pounds,
I didn't even
50
know he
pounds.
was English. I didn't even know he spoke for. If you haven't seen the movie Hard Times,
Yeah.
have you seen Hard Times?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy's a great. He can act. That guy. Man, Hard Times. If you haven't seen that, yeah, I know, but not to the extent of hard labor. You know what I mean?
But
Right.
It's a different kind of labor,
And they're
you know.
getting
But
millions of dollars.
But they're always saying how difficult it was, and
Yeah.
a lot of times it's not that difficult.
But I would say this much: if you're an actor and playing a drug addict, your mind knows you're not a drug addict, but your body doesn't. And I think that's why a lot of them get sick, because the mind knows you're acting a role, but body doesn't. So you get sick, and I think that's why Philip Seymour Hoffman overdosed. Who was it?
Are you giving him a pass?
No. I'm just saying. I think it might be a lot more complicated than that, because it put those people in a place that they never recovered.
And the
from.
guy in the Joker, he
Yeah.
looked like he starved himself, like
He
literally starved himself
Right.
for that. You see the bones coming out of his body?
Yeah.
Unless they engineered that or did it
No,
with the
they
computer.
didn't. Yeah.
Christian Bale
And
did the same
Heath Ledger
thing with
died
the
playing the
Machinist.
Joker as well. So I don't know. Regular acting, they're bitch and whining, but
Some
the
of the
people on the
heavy
top of the top, I do think they really go to places that most regular people can't relate to.
I agree with that.
You know.
I'll walk it back just a bit. I'll walk it back, Yoshi.
No, I wasn't mad at it.
No. I want to walk it back for my audience. I'm going to walk it back, okay? Maybe I was too much.
Yeah.
I'll walk it back a little bit, but I don't think making that the Reverend was, you know.
Yeah, 95% of them, I think, is
Right,
bullshit.
Leonardo
but-
DiCaprio. He's been famous since he was born.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen was busted last November for driving while intoxicated after police officers allegedly watched him pull his motorcycle over and take a shot of tequila with a fan. The New York Post reported last week Springsteen, 71, was riding his red and white Triumph through a national park in Sandy Hook, New Jersey, when he stopped to take photos with fans. Police pulled Springsteen over after they allegedly saw him downing a shot with the fans. He refused to take a breathalyzer test. The boss smelled strongly of alcohol, had a glassy eyes. He's 71 years old. When you get a little old like that, your eyes are going to be glassy all the time.
Yes.
You're
Saw
not
that
25. You're not a spring chicken. You're not running around jacking off every 5 minutes. You got glassy eyes. That's the sperm buildup in your eyeballs. I think I read an article about that. You know, when you don't have any sperm left, and it'll reoccur itself in your eyeballs.
I don't know why you keep looking at me, but okay.
Wait, when you don't have sperm left, can't you just put like more sperm in there? Like get like a sperm
Well,
implant?
you
like,
could.
stuff some in there?
When you were younger, you probably could. You'd have to get assistance with that. No.
Didn't they take his commercial away after Super Bowl because of that DUI? He did a
Oh, yeah,
commer-
he was doing it for Jeep.
That's right.
Yeah.
What a disaster for them.
Jeep.
No, I mean, it looks.
It was
not
a good commercial. It was trying to
Yeah.
get Americans to just like each other and stop this nonsense.
Right.
You know, a country cannot be divided. It doesn't bode well. It has to be unified. That's one of the things I like about, I guess, say China and definitely Japan. It's just a united country. They're all on the same page in Japan. You know?
But Brian, I think it's not as bad as people think it is.
You're right. It's not as bad as the media
Media's
portrays.
fucking scumbags, you know.
Yeah.
Because I travel the country. People are great in this country.
I got a ride home during the snowstorm coming back from the Exxon Food Mart. Some guy rolled his window down and said, "Get in."
Really?
I didn't care that he had no pants on. I needed a ride. No, I was, you're always reluctant to get into a strange car. But then I said, I had some packages. I said, "What the heck?" Yeah. And he drove me right up to my residence.
Stick shift.
And he was from, his name was John. Shout out to John from Syracuse. He's been here about 15 years. His company moved out here as well.
That's definitely one thing I immediately realized when moving here is how much nicer everybody is. Everywhere you go, everyone's saying, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Blah, blah, like just being sweethearts. People are just 100% nicer.
Is
than
that a
Los
southern
Angeles.
thing, you think?
Yeah, it's everywhere except Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, if you say hello to somebody,
Yeah.
they're not going to say hello back.
Right.
They're not. They just don't.
They say okay.
So they pulled him over. They thought he was drinking. The boss smelled strongly of alcohol and glass. He died and failed a field sobriety test, an officer said. When he was finally tested, Springsteen's blood alcohol level was 0.02, well below New Jersey's legal limit of 0.08. So the cops should have just got his autograph and had a good time and not did what they did.
Oh, he didn't break the law.
No, he wasn't drunk. He just took a shot with some fans. He was riding a motorcycle. How drunk can you be? You got to leave people alone on motorcycles. If you want to drink and drive a motorcycle, sooner or later you're going to get home, or they're going to see you wrapped around a tree. You know, you're not going to get far. So they should have left him alone. The Texas Department of Public Safety sent out an Amber Alert advising that the horror movie doll Chucky from Child's Play series had kidnapped a 5-year-old named Glenn.
Oh, yeah.
What?
The alert stated that the 28-year-old, 16-pound, 3-foot, 1-inch tall suspect was seen wearing blue denim overalls and wielding a huge kitchen knife at home at a specific address in Henderson, Texas. Public safety officials apologized, attributing the phony warning to a test malfunction. A woman who answered the phone at the listed address said, "Yes, I'm aware," before hanging up. She probably got 4,700 phone calls.
Feel bad for her. She should sue because she's probably being harassed nonstop.
I love that Chucky movie. That was one of my favorite movies.
a good one.
Chucky. I don't know why it wasn't given more awards. They just pass. They just pass over it. It's just a fun movie. You know, it's just a fun movie. I mean, Chucky. I the one I'm talking about is The Bride of Chucky. Did you see The Bride of Chucky?
Yeah.
Oh,
that ugly bitch.
that was something else. That was a honeymoon night not to miss. Chucky was angry.
All those movies are fun.
He was real angry. Texas here, another item of interest from Texas. A Texas prosecutor surprised a judge at his pre-trial Zoom hearing by appearing as a cat face. Ron Porton didn't realize he had the cat filter on the computer, and his usually sober face was replaced with that of a blue-eyed kitten. When the judge pointed it out, Porton said, "I don't know how to remove it." He tried to press on, telling the judge and the other lawyers, "I'm prepared to go forward with it." He finally eventually removed the filter, saying, "I'm not a cat." No, you're a rat. You're a rat. Oh, there he is.
And I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take a look.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it.
Look at the judge, man.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. A toilet seat that once belonged to Adolf Hitler has sold for $18,750 at auction. The white wooden seat was taken from Hitler's German retreat by a soldier. At the end of the Second World War, the seat remained on display in the soldier's basement for a decade until his son decided to auction it off. What is it? As close to a throne as the dictator would ever get, adding, "One can scarcely imagine the plotting the tyrant undertook while contemplating the world atop this perch."
Oh, look at that.
So, Brian, where do you keep it? Upstairs or downstairs?
I keep it in the guest room.
Yeah, and today, oh my God, is that it?
Yeah, that's.
And he's got one of those stupid bathtubs that everybody in America and everybody in the world has to have. Right. Same size, same height, same size drain. Give me a break. I hate those things.
You should see my bathroom.
You got a nice stand-up shower, do you?
Yeah, a huge stand-up shower and a huge big round separate bathtub.
Wow.
Yeah, I got, when I'm taking a shower in my rented room, I'm up to my ankles in water by the time I'm done.
Oh, that's the worst.
And the lady downstairs she's got a stand-up shower. I'm thinking about telling her that I'm unhappy about standing. I hate those things. I hate that bathtub. And the drain is about the size of, smaller than the bottom of this water bottle. And they wonder why they're clogging all the time.
Right.
Did you?
I just had to buy Drano.
Yeah,
today.
you got to get Drano for that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Whoever was using that bathtub before you had long hair, and it's probably all gooped up.
And considering we're talking about this toilet seat, the Nazi Party was founded today in 1920. 1920. So that's the toilet seat item of interest.
Oh, here's a Nazi thing. Remember at the studio, so somebody gave me this huge zombie. I don't know if you remember at my old studio, and he's wearing a Hitler or a Nazi soldier. It was a zombie, a Nazi zombie.
Right.
Like it's from a video game or like a horror movie, and it was cool. It's like it looks like a zombie, but he's wearing a full Nazi outfit. So when I was like, I don't know if I want to take this, like I don't know what to do. So I take it outside and I just lean it on the door, and I'm like, should I put this in the moving van or what should I do? And it falls on the ground, and then I go back inside. I come out, and there's just people like sit around it on the sidewalk going, what is this? I'm like, oh, no, it's a prop. It's a zombie prop. Like, I felt like I had like Nazi memorabilia. So then I threw it away, and like it's like hanging out of a dumpster, and there's just like these legs and Nazi symbols.
Yeah, they were ready to take you to task.
And then the next day, it was in your house and not broken anymore.
I've come back for you.
Like Chucky.
I don't know if I want to go involved here.
By the way, these Mars photos that they've been releasing are just
Wow.
amazing. Look at that. This is,
It could be Arizona.
yeah.
It could be Death Valley, New Mexico.
I'm just waiting for like a animal to come up to it.
I want to see Bigfoot running across the screen. You know how he looks at you when he's going fast? The federal government's total debt is expected to exceed $21 trillion this year and go up the size of the U.S. economy, according to the Congressional Budget Office. The Biden administration has launched a review of the new U.S. military prison at Guantanamo Bay. There are only 40 guys left in there that they got to figure out what they got to do. They had 800. Now there's 40 left.
Wow.
Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump had at least 117.2 million and as much as 640 million in outside income during their 4 years in the Trump administration. Wow, very good. While Americans drove 15% fewer miles last year during the pandemic, the number of people who died in highway crashes from January 1st, 2020 through November rose to 38,370 people. That's a lot of... That's because they were driving fast because there was less traffic. I noticed that in L.A. I think you did too, Redban.
Yeah.
And they were taking chances and driving fast, and they were getting out of the envelope. The envelope of a speeding car is just like a jet airplane. Once you get out of that designed envelope, it's curtains.
Yeah.
You got to keep it to like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger
He
Woods.
doesn't know how to drive. This is not the first car accident this guy's been in. Didn't he hit a tree with the golf clubs when he's running away from his wife?
Yeah.
He's a nut. He shouldn't be driving.
You can't drive.
He should be driven everywhere. He's got $42 million or some nonsense.
Yeah, he's got the
Why is he driving?
Didn't he get pulled
knows?
over in between too with drugs or something? Remember that after the accident?
And he's Asian too. He's Quaka.
Half of it, yeah.
He's Quaka. What do they call it? Tropical Asian. What do they call it?
Malaysians.
What's the word they use?
Well,
for
in Idaho they call them mud babies. But,
Hey, jeez.
that's what they call them over there.
Oh,
Biracial babies.
This gone dead air, just creeping. Dead air, just creeping right into the dead air. Convenience. Isn't it great when dead air happens and it's called dead air? Everybody's not worried. So I don't know what Tiger Woods. They put a plate, a rod in there. So he's going
in the car. Or
I wonder if this is going to be like another comeback story for him.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like Terminator out there.
yeah.
Yeah, on the golf course. He can do it. If he did it once, he can do it again.
Yeah.
All right.
If he's that good. I mean, if he's got
Keeps on doing well. He can crash as much as he wants.
Now this is for all your techies out there. This is unbelievable. When I read this, I had to sit down. Wait till you hear this, Yoshi.
Since I'm Asian and we like tech.
A company in Israel created an edible rib-eye steak using a 3D printer. What? Said so-and-so and so-and-so. The technology developed by so-and-so and so-and-so in partnership with the Israeli Institute of Technology prints living animal cells that are incubated on a plant-based matrix, allowing them to interact and grow to achieve the texture and qualities of real steak. The company produced its first lab-grown thin-cut steak in 2018, but enhancements in the system have improved the meat's sensory quality, even producing the fatty marbling of a thick, high-grade rib eye.
That looks so disturbing.
The breakthrough is big for the booming all meat market, ALT meat market, alternative. However, the Food and Drug Administration has yet to set a date when it might rule on approving lab-grown meat or poultry. Can you believe this? This is outrageous.
Wow. That doesn't.
What they're doing in laboratories and what they're doing that we don't even know about.
Right.
What they're not telling us.
Right. If they're telling us about this, then it's probably 10 times crazier stuff going on.
They're playing God. That's what
They're
they're
probably getting back with they're making sheep. Dolly the sheep. They're probably making people.
Ugh.
I think it's pretty cool.
Would you try it?
Oh yeah.
Those Beyond Burgers are pretty freaking good.
I just tried that for the first time.
Yeah,
last
I've had
week.
them.
Yeah.
I like.
The Burger King one's good.
They have Burger King in Austin, right?
Yeah. They have
haven't
Burger
seen
Kings. Do they not?
Have you seen them?
I thought so.
Heavy,
Maybe I'm
heavy
imagining
Whopper.
it.
You order a Whopper, heavy everything, cut in half.
What does heavy mean?
It means heavy pickles, heavy onions, heavy mayonnaise, heavy tomato, heavy lettuce. It means everything, and you cut it in half, and it is. Do you eat cow?
Yeah. I'm not picky.
That's good.
No dog meat.
Come on.
Not yet.
Have you ever tried dog meat?
Whopper heavy, cut in half.
No, but what is a snapping turtle?
Oh, yeah.
That's what my mother used to feed me when I was a kid.
I like turtles.
Where?
This was in Korea.
Do you know Jackson Purdue? Jackson Purdue is a very, very funny comic from the Comedy Store, and he had the greatest joke, and I always retell it to people, but I also always give him credit. Not on stage, though. No, I don't say it on stage.
Right.
I don't mean I say it on stage and not give him credit.
That's hilarious.
That's what I thought you meant.
So I always give credit, and his joke is his father is Indian, and his mother's Japanese. And whenever they go fishing, they never catch anything because his mom always eats the bait. Something like that.
That's good.
I'm paraphrasing that one.
That's fun.
Yeah. This is a good one. This is from where we used to come from, Redban. AT&T finally provided high-speed internet for a man who paid $10,000 for a newspaper ad asking for better service, said so-and-so and so-and-so. North Hollywood, California resident Aaron Epstein took out a quarter-page ad in the Wall Street Journal last week, hoping to convince AT&T to upgrade its slow as molasses DSL internet to fiber. In the ad, the 90-year-old Epstein wrote that AT&T has been advertising downloads up to 100 MBS for other neighborhoods, but the fastest now available to us was only 3 MBS. MBS?
Wow.
Yes. National broadcasts.
Epstein's neighbors apparently already had AT&T and T-Fiber, but he said the company told him installation at his home would cost the company thousands and thousands of dollars. But 2 days after Epstein's ad went viral, AT&T showed up and laid the fiber. See, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Have you noticed faster internet out here at the place?
Oh my God! In my residence, it's unbelievable. When I do my videos, they're bam, right, bam.
Yeah.
It's like how come it's so good here and so bad in the West Coast?
Well, you have bad internet at your place on the West Coast for sure. But the big thing is that they have fiber out here a lot. And as an example, I'm on Wi-Fi right now, and the modem's downstairs. And look at these speeds I'm getting right here. And this is off Wi-Fi from downstairs.
So that's incredibly fast. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That other guy only had 3.
3. You know how long it takes to watch a porno on 3?
Right. You're not even interested by the end.
Yeah, it's so fast out here that I edit Kill Tony, and each Kill Tony episode's about 15 gigabytes when it's done to upload. Now in LA, the fastest internet I had would still take me about an hour and a half to upload that whole video, 2 hours maybe.
Wow.
This, I'll hit upload. I'll just type in Kill Tony number whatever, type in the guest name. 1 minute later, and it's already done.
Wow,
uploading.
that big of a difference?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem is getting this stuff uploaded. How to get through a power outage? Eat fresh food first. A refrigerator will keep food at a safe temperature for 4 hours. A freezer for 24 to 48 hours. Take no chances with spoiled food, but if you have a gas stove and matches to light the burners, you can cook normally at first. Unplug other appliances. The eventual return of power can create surges and damage appliances. Let your lights indicate when power has been restored. Use your smartphone sparingly to keep the battery charged. Write down any numbers you might regret you can't retrieve if the battery runs down. Be cautious with generators. A running generator should be kept 20 feet from the house. Trapped carbon dioxide kills quickly. Bundle up. In a winter outage, this is what you were doing, Redban. Conserve any warmth you can by closing curtains and blocking drafts. Layer up on clothing and blankets until you can safely relocate.
Why 20 feet for a generator, I wonder?
Because the fumes are so deadly.
I wonder if that's only gas generators or something. I don't think natural gas, like a grill.
Yeah, that's something to Google. And we're almost done. We've got the passing of our friend Larry Flint, talking about porno.
That sucks.
And he was a lot of people gave him a bad name, but he sacrificed a lot. Even took a bullet in the back for free speech, free expression. And he was 79.
You knew him, right, Yoshi?
I met him several times. Yeah.
Really? Where'd you meet him?
Berlin Venus Fair is the biggest porn convention, and I think at the Hustler building, one of my friends was working for him.
Will Shore in La Cienega.
Yeah. I used to edit porn for 9 years in LA, so I knew a lot of the people in the business. But he took bullet because the guy who shot him was a serial killer, and the interracial scenes, that pissed him off.
Right.
But I forgot the guy's name, but he killed a bunch of people in the South, I think.
Yeah, his name was Larry Flint took delight in demolishing the boundaries of decency.
Was it Jimmy Swaggart?
Parker. That was the big case that brought him to light. But who's the guy that shot him? I don't want to read this whole thing.
So he was a porn star or a porn director?
He started Hustler magazine.
He had a bunch of strip club in Kentucky, and then it went through the magazine, and started in 1975, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But he was big on free
Joseph Paul
speech.
Franklin?
Here it is. I'll just read this part here. Flint was born to an alcoholic father and a teenage mother in a hard scramble hollows of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. At age 15, he quit school and, using a fake birth certificate, joined the Army and then the Navy, where he served as a radar operator for 5 years. After being discharged in 1964, Flint began buying bars in Dayton, Ohio, and opened his first strip joint, naming it the Hustler Club. There were soon hustler clubs across Ohio, and in 1974, Flint converted his popular 4-page Hustler newsletter into a glossy national magazine. Hustler became a sensation in 1975 when it published photos of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis sunbathing nude in Greece. Said so-and-so and so-and-so. Flynn had paid a paparazzi $18,000 for the shots. Sales of the issues made him a millionaire.
Wow.
And the last part, arriving in 1978. I love the obituaries because it just tells the person's story in a quick...
Absolutely.
And it's interesting to see people's lives. Arriving in 1978, Yosemite trial in Georgia, Flint was shot by a white supremacist who objected to Hustler's depictions of interracial sex, said the Los Angeles Times. Left paralyzed from the waist down, Flint bought an $85,000 gold-plated wheelchair. He remained a regular in the courtroom. In his most notorious case, portrayed in the 1996 film The Peoples vs. Larry Flint, he was hit with a $45 million libel suit by the televangelist Jerry Falwell after Hustler published a parody in which the preacher reminisced about an outhouse rendezvous with his mother. That's as far as you can go, Yoshi, when you're bringing the mother into it. You know, how many friends do you say, oh, don't talk about my mother. No mother jokes. No mother joke. Hey, your mother didn't stop having sex when you were born.
Right.
Your mother loved sex. She loved the back seat of big cars. And after you were born, she continued that desire to have fun.
Right.
You know, these guys, they think their mothers are none or something. You okay, Yoshi? You looking over?
Oh, yeah.
And a jury awarded Falwell $200,000, but the Supreme Court threw out all the damages, affirming the right to publish outrageous opinions about public figures. And the First Amendment will protect a scumbag like me, Flynn said. Then it will protect all of you, because I'm the worst. So he's not the bad smut peddler that people think he is. He did a lot of good for the first...
Absolutely. And there was a guy named Charles Keaton who fucked all the senior citizens with savings and loans scandal in the 80s. He was supporting the Falwell, and they're trying to fuck him over. But all those scumbags are taking money from the working class people, you know.
Oh, yeah. They're all...
Larry Flint didn't do anything wrong. If you don't like his magazine, don't look at it, you know.
I love the guy because he got me laid.
Man. There were some photographs. Playboy was just kind of being tame, you know.
Right. But he really...
Hey, you've never seen a Hustler magazine?
I've seen a Hustler magazine.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sure back then, too, that must have been...
They put the camera as close as they could
Yeah.
to the baby machine as you can get.
What is who said that? I think Dave Chappelle says it. Hustler style, spread in the lips. Wow.
Okay, that's it. We're going to do a little wisdom and wit, and that'll be the end of the first items of interest in Austin, Texas. Some of these we understand, some of them we don't. To achieve great things, you need to plan and not...
And pause.
quite enough time. To achieve great things, you need a plan and not quite enough time. Okay. Some of them you get, some of you don't. You know, the problem is not so much whether one trusts the news as whether one finds it. I can understand that one. I got to get a new prescription on these glasses. These are the ones you buy at 99-cent store.
Yeah, and it seems like you've been holding it like out, like it's,
You always have to go too far to get anywhere at all, in art or life. That's a good one. You always have to go too far to get anywhere at all, in art or life. When a man knows he is to be hanged in a fortnight, it concentrates his mind wonderfully. You know that one, right? That one makes sense.
That does make
Who
sense.
said that?
Samuel Johnson.
Oh.
It is disease that makes health sweet. All right. In memory, yeah, everybody can agree that a hospital bed sucks.
Right.
The food sucks. They won't leave you alone. They won't let you sleep. The guy next to you snoring. I was in a hospital not too long ago, and it was kind of funny. There was a guy across the hall, and he kept yelling at the top of his lungs, "Let's go! Let's go! Let's get out of here! Let's go!" Really loud.
Wow.
You know,
What did you go to hospital for?
I think my I don't know. There's been so many. You know, I wasn't in the hospital. I was visiting someone.
Oh, okay.
And there was another guy. My father was in the VA nursing home on Long Island. And there was a guy who thought he was like a general in the army or something. And he was going up and down the hallway, ordering his troops around. That was pretty entertaining.
All things.
In memory, everything seems to happen to music. That's Tennessee Williams. In memory, everything seems to happen to music. As you get older, you don't get wiser, you get irritable. All right, so that's it. That's items of interest.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I loved it.
Did you do?
Yeah. There was a lot of interesting stuff happening.
Can we put a lie detector?
No.
Can we hook you up to some kind of proof?
I don't know.
So I am very impressed with you today, as I am Dylan. Yoshi, you're pretty knowledgeable about a lot of things, huh?
I'm just old. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Yeah. I'm 51.
Right.
You know, I should know something. Hopefully.
You're 51?
Yeah.
Wow.
Japs don't crack.
Wow. Wow. Is that because you're with a Korean girl?
Hi, yeah, right.
I've been to Korea. I've been to Gwangju, Korea.
For comedy or?
I was in the Air Force.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How many years?
4.5. I got thrown out of Korea. Yeah.
What year to what year?
It was a weekend deal. It was a temporary, where they have those exercises, those military
I see.
exercises. Yeah. I didn't make it past the weekend. Never picked up a tool.
Oh, is that the one where you crashed your... Man.
Some of the things that happened today is Castro retires 50 years ago, 2008. 1863, Arizona is organized as the U.S. territory. And in 1980, the Miracle on Ice, the U.S. Olympic hockey team won gold.
What's it today?
In 1980.
I mean, anniversary is today.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of those things. So what does the future hold for you, Dylan?
Not much. I wanted to say because you remember Jeffrey Berner. So Jeffrey Berner's staying at my place right now because he's thinking of moving to Austin. So he wanted to say that him and Feng Chao said hi on Dead Air because they really enjoyed their time when they were on.
Yoshi? Yoshi, not Yoshi. Yoshi.
Yes, sir.
You mind if I ask you, how are we doing on time, Redban?
We got whatever.
Okay, would you like to answer some questions?
Sure.
Why the Japanese people are so polite?
Well, when you have when you used to have people going around with a 3-foot long blade cutting your head off, if you imply, you kind of learn quickly to not be an asshole.
You behave yourself.
Yeah, I think there's that, but since there was a Patrice documentary a couple of days ago, I have to say that one time I was talking to him, he kind of got quiet because I think he was comparing Japanese with the African American group. And, that tsunami thing was 10 years ago.
Right.
Last month, maybe. Right afterwards, every injured Japanese will tell whoever helping them, please don't worry about me, please help somebody else. Because there's some unwritten rule among Japanese, like, you should be giving help before anyone else. You should always help somebody else first. And I think that kind of got to him because my interpretation that black people do unite whenever they're dealing with racism, but any sort of other domestic issues. They can't get along with each other, And I think that's why Japanese they always think in a group. I mean, every Olympic, only the Japanese will clean up all their mess afterwards, right? In the stadium and things like that. Maybe we lost maybe a little bit of that in this country.
I was lucky enough to meet Patrice in New York City in front of the Boston Comedy Club. It could have been, I don't remember, but we talked briefly.
That was right by the Comedy Sullivan, no longer there. Yeah.
Yeah, and what a great guy.
Yeah.
He was too funny. Just met him once, just briefly. But as far as the Japanese, answer me this question.
Yes, sir.
And it's true. During the tsunami,
Yeah.
the Japanese would stand almost at attention, not quite, and they would just wait patiently for help.
Yeah.
Compared to New Orleans, where they were like, "Hey, come on, it's just total." But how do you reconcile the fact that during World War II, the Japanese were brutal?
Yeah.
Brutal to prisoners of war, brutal. People would, but in real life today, they're like the nicest people in the world. How do you reconcile that brutalness during war?
I think they were poorly educated. They were told that foreigners, especially the Americans, will kill them. So if you saw like a Battle of Iwo Jima, when they were eventually, of course, losing to U.S. Marines, so many Japanese men and children and women were jumping out of a cliff because they thought if you get captured, two things, they'll be tortured and humiliated, but dishonor to their country. But they were lied to, the propaganda, What's interesting, Japan was a closed country until mid-1800s, 1855 or whatever it was, when the U.S. government sent their ship and forced Japan to open their country. But if it wasn't for that, I don't think the Japanese would just not interfere with any foreign things. Irony is that we forced the Japanese to open their country. They became like European power almost. And they did exactly what white people were doing, and we didn't like it,
Yeah, when I was in Okinawa, there was a place called Suicide Cliffs.
They would literally jump out of it because the fate with America would be far worse. But that was a lie. It was a propaganda. The Japanese government lied to Japanese people.
Right. Well, I think that goes hand in hand. You can't. If you're going to have a war, you got to have that propaganda machine right along with it. Yeah. It's a whole big synchronized, planned platform.
But we're very lucky in this country that Japanese culture, Asian culture, they don't really encourage disagreeing with people or questioning people. You're not supposed to do that. And I think that's the problem with Asia. We're very lucky that we could talk to shit, even like say shit about president of the United States. But we're lucky that we're allowed to do that. Because if you can't, you're going to have same scenario in Japan. They just accept whatever the emperor told you to do. And it's great that we could talk shit,
I noticed that in China, when I went to China too, I would always say, I think you got the biggest economy. And they were so admiring of America. They would never even go there. But
sometimes we forget how great this country is.
I know, because of all that.
I think it's funny that I have to remind people.
Right, exactly. It really is. There's no place like it.
It's great.
It's the biggest experiment in a society the world has ever known.
I think I've been to 62.
And they say that's why it's so fragile.
Yeah.
Because bad actors can come in and steal it and take it away and twist it and twink it.
Yeah, the media in Silicon Valley, they're the scumbags. But the American people are great. We just forget sometimes.
Right. Was another thing I was going to talk to you about Japan. Have you ever been to Japan? Uh-oh. Oh.
Of course you put this picture.
Yeah, they had to surrender on the ship.
USS Missouri.
Yeah. And it was a mistake to build that nuclear plant. They should have built that way up on a hill someplace instead of right near the ocean. They would have been better off.
100% you're correct. How about that?
Yeah, that was the thing that was the biggest problem, right? Was that it was by water.
Yeah. And the spread of radiation.
Very interesting. So here's 10 questions for you.
Yoshi.
Yes, sir.
Question number 1. If you were to go on an all-expense world trip, everything was paid. I mean everything, Yoshi. Everything. I don't want to go through the list. Just anything that you had to buy while you were on your vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, to the littlest thing. Anything. Where would you go? Question number 2.
Right now, probably Moscow.
Wow. Do you like blondes or brunettes?
Burnett.
What's your best comedy experience that you ever had?
Can I skip that for now? Let me think.
We'll come back. Number 4, favorite movie star.
Humphrey Bogart.
Favorite movie star, Dylan?
I changed it from last time. I'm gonna.
Shelley Duvall?
No, not Shelley Duvall. Shit. I don't know.
He really bullied her, huh?
Yeah.
He bullied her, huh? What is your favorite movie, Yoshi?
Favorite movie?
First one that pops in your head is your favorite movie.
I don't know why Lawrence Arabia popped in my head, but that popped in my head.
You must enjoy it then. How about you, Dylan?
I was thinking The Shining.
All right.
Great
Very
movie.
good. Way to get out of that
I
question.
thought you were gonna do something like Air Bud.
It's a good movie.
What was your favorite subject in high school, Yoshi?
History.
Dylan?
Psychology.
Yoshi, are you a Jehovah's Witness? And please tell the truth. You've already been sworn in.
I'm not religious at all.
Atheist?
No.
Came out of a pea pod from the ocean?
He's a fish creature.
Piece of seaweed, are you?
Not religious, but it's probably because of from Japan. They have a different attitude about that.
What do they think is going to happen to them when they pass away?
No, but you know how that works in Japan, right? Like,
Tell us briefly, if you can.
if you're getting married, if you're getting married, you use Shintoism. Somebody die, you use Buddhist rituals, and the day-to-day dealing with other people, Confucius. It's like having a fork, knife, and spoon. You just pick one, depends on the circumstance.
Wonderful. They got it covered. And we know you're not a Jehovah's Witness, Dylan.
No.
I wouldn't have had you back on the show if I knew you were. Yoshi, do you hate your mother?
I don't have a good relationship with her.
Oh, wow. What happened? What happened there?
It's going to take a long time. Why is that funny to you?
Isn't that that's the story, right?
Yeah.
It's there's a whole podcast.
I will say that my mother's name is Yoko, so maybe that has something to do with
Yuko or Yoko?
it. Yoko.
Did she
Here we go.
just can you just narrow it down to maybe 4 sentences at the most? 4 sentences. Tell us what the problem is with your mom.
I mean, she's an addict, I think.
Of what kind?
Alcohol.
All right. What else? That has nothing to do with you. There's no reason to hate her. Go ahead. No reason to have a problem with her. That's her business. What else? So far, you're wrong.
Just don't get along. Yeah.
All right. The horse is dead. We're not going to get anything out of you on this one.
Well, there's podcasts you could listen to that go through that are hours and hours.
Oh,
long.
I'm not talking about my stepmother.
Oh, no, that's right. That was your stepmother.
Oh, your stepmother? Oh, I'm talking about your natural-born mother.
Yeah. Well, my stepmother, I definitely had a problem with her.
Yeah, most people do have problems with stepdads and stepmoms because the children resent them, kind of treating them as if they're their own. The smart stepmom or stepdad knows the boundaries, knows what they can say, what they can't say. And they go overboard, and it's like lions. Don't lions eat the other young of the lady?
No, Brian, I've been overboard.
What do you mean you've been overboard?
I put her in the hospital.
You've been beaten?
No. My stepmother. It's an old story, but I talked about it in Rogan.
He's
but,
banned from Japan.
Who?
I'm not banned from Japan. I could get in Japan. I might not.
Oh, you beat the hell out of your stepmom?
Her sister, brother-in-law, and nephew.
Well, maybe the first thing that comes to my mind is maybe they deserved it.
They could. They could.
The people who.
At my dad's funeral, by the way.
Oh, so this should have been on film.
I don't know about that, but that's why Brian's laughing because he knows all the backstory.
Yeah.
I guess I'll ask you the next question.
Awkward.
Have you ever considered hurting yourself?
No.
Dylan, I think you said no last time you were on the program. Has that changed?
I think I said yes. I might have said yes. In the past when I was younger.
Oh, I see. Very uncomfortable.
I should have just said no.
Very uncomfortable.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Not
We're
anymore.
going to just keep this dead air moving right along. Yoshi, if you were a famous rock star, who would you want to be? Freddie Mercury, Liberace, Elton John, George Michael, or Boy George?
Freddie, for sure. That popped in my head right away.
Yeah.
He's
Queer?
we
Dead?
call it gay here.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
You still want to pick Freddie?
Oh, yeah. It's incredible.
Pretty gay.
I didn't know queer was a bad word.
There's a lot of bad words now. Now I find myself not even to say fat. Your mind actually says fat is a bad word now
That's weird.
because they want to clean it up. They want to take it out of the vocabulary. It's really gotten crazy. It's just fun to sit back and watch it. A lot of people getting upset, but you can't stop change. What's your opinion on that? You can't stop the wave from Creston.
If you don't give a shit what they think, then you don't have to worry about it, I don't have anything. They can't cancel me, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I feel the same way. All right. Okay. Can I have that tension cutting knife? I'd like to cut the tension over here. Have you ever been attracted to your mother, Yoshi?
No.
Have you ever been attracted to somebody else's mother, Yoshi?
Yes.
Was she a Japanese?
No.
You like white ladies?
Some.
Are you difficult to work
It
with?
feels like when I was getting my citizenship. All these questions. No, I'm not even. You kind of look my immigration person who was testing me. I will be honest. I was very nervous.
One of my favorite scenes in Blade Runner, the real Blade Runner,
Yeah.
not the second one. That
Yeah.
silly thing. I don't know what they were
2048 or
trying to
whatever.
do.
Yeah.
God, that the first Blade Runner, you can't take your eyes off.
Yeah.
I was watching the second Blade Runner on an airplane, and I was like, "Come on, come on, come on!" Anyway, the first one is the best scene in the world when Leon is getting interviewed.
Yeah. Very beginning.
Man, that's
Yeah.
what a beginning to a movie,
That was
Leon.
cool.
Do you know the scene I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Yoshi? Oh
just
man,
in
that's
the
a good
question.
scene.
Very unnerving.
Yeah. That was great.
He's smoking. He's smoking a cigarette, and Leon doesn't like the questions,
Yeah.
and he gets upset. Have you ever had sex with yourself on an airplane?
No.
Why not?
In a plane? No. I don't know. I never did it.
Japanese, yeah. White people do that all the time.
What?
You get in an airplane bathroom. There's some reason that floor is always very sticky, and it's just like it's just Americans like to have fun wherever they are. Wow, if you could change one law in America, what would it be?
Drug law. Legalize everything.
Everything.
Yes.
You want to elaborate on that?
It causes more problems. It's a health issue, not a criminal or moral issue. And I've been to Europe many times. You're making the situation worse by illegalizing it. People need help, not jail time. Quiet. What would you change, Dylan? What law?
I said this last time.
Whoa,
but
whoa, whoa, Yoshi.
Were you expecting like a statutory rape laws or something, like age or something? Make everything 14?
Well, this is our first episode back.
Actually, I think what you said, Yoshi, was what most people say. I think
What?
that's been said a few times.
What?
The legalization of drugs.
It gives more power to government and police and harassing people, mostly black people, you know?
Yeah.
I do love how they're like releasing all these people that have marijuana laws. I mean, that should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I've known a few people growing up, you know, that
Their
got
lives are
like
fucking
20,
ruined.
30-year sentences just for weed.
Yes.
It's great.
Insane.
See, the problem with the police, if there is a problem, is they have a thing called patrol. And they have to go out and they patrol the streets, the
Sure.
cities and highways. I think they should just stay in the station and just respond to calls, as opposed to this patrol. Because that's where all the problems occur, is when they're out on patrol. Just respond to calls for service, 911 calls, traffic accidents, robberies, assaults, rapes, the big stuff. And just kind of take a seat back.
Because they also have
But then again, then the crime rate would skyrocket because everybody would know that the police are in the police station eating donuts, and they'd be free to do crime. So I want to walk that back as well.
I think we should have CCTV or whatever the fuck they do.
Oh, in China? Oh, they got you on the phone.
Wait, you want a police state? Is that
no,
what you're
no.
saying?
I mean, for like not every single street, but for main streets and stuff like that. Because there's been so many times where
When you say mainstream, like everything's Martin Luther King something Boulevard?
yeah, just all the MLK boulevards.
That's what you mean?
No.
I hate police state.
So that's great. I want to thank you guys for coming on this new episode of Dead Air.
Thank you for having us.
Where can
Thank you
people
for
find
having
you guys?
Thanks for the gift.
You're welcome. So Yoshi, tell us. You want to tell us anything before we wrap it up? You want to plug anything?
I'm writing all my porn stories in a children's book format. It'll be done at the end of the year.
Nice. Like seriously, when I first met Yoshi, he worked in the porn industry for 10 years or so, and every time he was the best because every time you saw him, he would just give you a stack of porn movies because he would like burn.
I get him free at work. Yeah.
Well, what did you do in the industry, if you don't mind me asking?
I was a DVD producer, and also I did PR for one of the biggest porn company. And anytime they need a porn star for movies or TV show, they call me. I even got 2 porn stars for Maya Rudolph for her husband's 40th birthday 10 years ago, who is Paul Thomas Anderson, who made Boogie Night and things like that. So I still get phone calls for anything porn related, for documentary and things like that.
Fascinating.
And I travel the country, like visiting like 6 tours and places like that too. So yeah, I might be helping one of my friends, DC, the connection between terrorism and porn usage by terrorists.
Wow.
They found a bunch of porn with Bin Laden. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah.
Well, it's the biggest industry in the country.
Yeah. The type of porn you watch say everything I need to know about you as a person.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
Brian knows. He knows algorithm and all that stuff.
Wow, fascinating and frightening at the same time. Was he vetted for this podcast? So you have a lot of life in you, man. You've seen it, done it, and just been everywhere. Gee whiz.
I remember my favorite, I think when I used to do a show with Mitch Hedberg in Seattle. I think there were some of the greatest shows. Mitch was a great guy.
Oh, Mitch who?
Hedberg?
Oh, yes, of course, Mitch. Yeah, he was quite the way he, used the language. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Great guy.
What is, so where are you going to end up? Where do you think you're going to end up living? Or are you just going to continue this traveling?
I think I'm going to come and visit and stay in Austin maybe over the summer. But yeah, I think I'll be mostly in the West Coast, Phoenix, Vegas, and LA area.
Wow. Well, thanks for coming on Dead Air today.
Thanks.
You want to ask? You want to add anything else?
No. Thanks, Brian, for having me on the show, Brian.
I like straight sex. All right, so go ahead, Dylan. You want to plug something?
Yeah. Sure. I just say if you're in Austin, Texas, come check out the Secret shows. They're a fun night. Yeah.
Thanks.
And they're only going to get as we get rid of this COVID. If you want any Dead Air T-shirt, the Holtzman.store.
Buy those shirts so Brian can get his car fixed.
Yes.
Nice.
Buy some shirts.
Buy
if you
T-shirts,
want.
goddammit.
And I want to thank everybody for being here today, and I want to thank Bad Ashley, and I want to thank Redban and the new studio, and we're off and running. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks,
All
Brian.
right, thank you.